Hello, my dear learner. I have taught more than 100 students over a period of time. And one thing that I've found common is everyone makes at least one of these mistakes while they are learning French. The third mistake that we are going to discuss is the most commonly made mistake because of which people can't get fluent. Now we are going to discuss the three common mistakes every student can or might make and how to avoid them. The first mistake that I'm going to tell you is not following a structured curriculum. Maybe because of the enthusiasm or craze to learn the language, the students tend to jump from one app to the other, one video to other, one resource to other, etc. They just want to try and attain as much as knowledge as they can in a short period of time. But trust me, as a teacher, I would never recommend that. French, especially, has so many grammar topics or concepts which are interlinked. If you're not going to learn from a sequence that is recommended, that might actually lead a lot of confusion and then a haywire experience. You might feel absolutely lost or disrupted while you're learning. That is the reason it is absolutely recommended to follow a structured curriculum. Always start with the basics, going on to intermediate stuff, and then the advanced stuff. Following a structured curriculum will not only help you easing your learning, but also attaining your target easier. The second most common mistake that I have found as a teacher is not speaking in French. Speaking in French might seem very overwhelming or frightening, but trust me, it's the fun part of the language. Many of you might spend lots of weeks, months, also years while you're learning and acing the language. You might ace the grammar, the comprehension, the writing skills, but when it comes to speaking French, that's a bit of a problem. Either you're too much overwhelmed to, stand up and speak, or afraid of making mistakes, feeling of being judged, many factors because of which you avoid speaking. For many of you, you do not have the actual proper resources with whom you can practice. I have a solution for all of that. Point number one. Actually, you should have at least one person with you with whom you can converse freely in French. If you don't have one, the basic you can do is start shadowing your teacher. What do you mean by shadowing a teacher? It actually means you will shadow her, like you will repeat every single word and the sentence after her, slowly and gradually, understanding how words are pronounced, how the syllables are pronounced, and then no matter what you're putting your effort in, the way you're putting your effort in, if you're doing this, practicing this regularly, mark my words, you will be able to speak fluently on the spot or even in the conversation very fluently. Or, like a native person, the pronunciations will come right into you. The second tip that I want to share to avoid this mistake is you can always join a community where you have other peer learners of French. That ways you can have a more elaborative practice over, numerous topics, situations, conversations, or, even your own monologues. Everybody is going to be at the same learning stage, so there is no way of being or getting judged. Practicing is important. How you practice it is completely at your disposal. But if you practice speaking French daily, trust me, you are going to build enormous amount of confidence in yourself so that no matter where you are, you can speak French like this. It's a cakewalk for you. The third most common mistake actually goes at the top. Number one common mistake is not being consistent. This is like a huge mistake or something which sums up to the majority of the crowd that is committing. You might be learning French since a very long time, acing lots of levels and lots of acquiring knowledge around the ground, but many of the students are not found consistent. If your learning has a gap in between, it is not only going to increase your learning journey, but also going to make you waste your time in revising every single thing that you have learned before. More the gap, trust me, it is always endangering you remembering even the basics. I have seen so many good students who were actually good in French, had a huge gap in between, and then they were struggling to even remember the basics of the language. They had to do it from the scratch. So it is always recommended to not give much of a gap while you're learning. As in much possible, practice, keep in touch with the language every single day. If it's not possible for you to have a dedicated time to learn the language or keep in touch with the language, the simple thing you can do is try and accommodate at least 5 to 10 minutes of your life or your routine for the language. You might practice while you're eating your meals, commuting, or even 10 minutes before your bed. If you do not have any other resource to keep practicing up to, the simple thing you can do is you can try write your diary in French, the 10 sentences about your day, how it was, what did you do, or even if you're eating or traveling, try to, correlate the around things. So even if you're eating your meals, commuting, traveling, sitting, try to identify the things around you, what is happening, what all is there. Try to fetch what is this word in French. This also might help you to be in touch with the language and not have a gap. Minimizing the gap in learning French is always going to make your process smoother and your journey a bit, structured or in a aligned way. Keeping gaps while learning French is only and only going to prolong your journey. Half of the times, this is the main reason because you have to start revising everything again or starting from the scratch is so tedious. People tend. That is the reason why I said this is the topmost reason which is found to be, for the people not being fluent or not being consistent with the language. I hope these three mistakes and how to avoid them, these tips were useful to you. So if you have liked this video and the tips that I've shared with you, do like, comment, share, and do not forget to subscribe our channel. We will be sharing more such fun elements with you. Happy learning with us. See you in the next video.